A profitable trader is a profitable trader first mindset is to secure their balance, but a beginner trader's mindset is to make profit. Can you see this different now? A beginner trader wants to make profit from the market, but a pro trader first mindset is to secure the balance before the profit comes in. So if you have this mindset, then that is where you're being profitable. So please mentor the world. Today I want to talk to you about what we call risk management. Risk management is one of the problems why traders get losing trades over and over. Okay, so you can study everything. You can be a pro in technical analysis. You might be good in fundamentals. You might be good with all these FVG, SMC, and the rest of them. Baba, if you are not good with risk management, even a beginner trader will beat you in the forex game. I tell you. Now, let me give you a tips on how to work on your risk management. Let's say you have 1,000 US. Okay, let me bring it down. Let's say you have 100 USD. Okay. Now, if you have 100 USD and you want to trade, firstly, your first target should be, when it comes to risk management, is what am I risking per trade on this account? Okay, if you have 100 USD, your target should be, firstly, what am I risking on this account per trade? You don't just open the trade and open your equity, open your balance to the market. No. What makes a profitable trader is a profitable trader first mindset is to secure their balance. But a beginner trader's mindset is to make profit. Can you see this different now? A beginner trader wants to make profit from the market, but a pro trader first mindset is to secure the balance before the profit comes in. So if you have this mindset, then that is where your being profitable begins from. Okay. So now you're going to be asking yourself, on this my 100 USD account, what am I risking per trade? Now let's look at this. Let's say you want to risk, let's say 10%, for instance, which I will not advise you. You should be risking at least 2 to 3%. Okay, now let's say if you're risking 10% of a 100 USD account, 10% is $10, which means if you take 10 losses, okay, you have blown the account. But it is not possible that you take 10 losses at a row. Okay, one of the things some traders will not tell you, the higher the risk, the higher the profit. That is one thing about trading. But in that higher risk, you need to know how to manage your risk management. So if you're that person that don't know how to take high risk and reward, probably you're still trying to manage or learn how to do risk management, I will advise you go for small risk. In other words, I can say go for 2 to 3% per trade. So if you have a 100 USD, you should be looking at least $2 to $3, max $5 risk per trade. Okay. So if you take 10 losses, let's say in a day you take like 3 losses, and you're doing, let's say, max 5%, that is about 15 USD loss. You still have 75 USD to come to the market next day, and you can recover even three to four times of what you lost yesterday. You get it now? So you have to ask yourself, what am I risking per trade on this account? So if you're saying you're risking 5% on the account, for instance, per trade, let's say you're doing $5 times 3, or let's say times 4. You take 5 times 4, you lose the 4 trades for the day. That is $20, right? For instance, now. You can shut down with 80. By the time you come back tomorrow, probably the market is settled. Your mentality, your state of mind is settled. Your analysis is correct. At that point now, you will trade even better, and probably you might make as much as 30 to 50 USD to recover from that. Okay, but the beginner traders don't put this into consideration. What they do is pa 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 pa. They want to load it. In the next video, I will talk about full margin trading, which is not bad. I do full margin sometimes, but when you want to do full margin, you are nothing concern you with risk. Okay, so guys, make sure you're following, make sure you subscribe, make sure you're following, and like this video and share it. Next video, I will talk to you about full margin. So before you take that trade, guys, make sure you know what you're risking. That is first. The profit is not your problem. Your problem is your capital. If you lose the capital, you have nothing to trade again. But if you take a loss and come back with a little fund, you can grow back that fund, make back the money, and you go further. Thank you, guys. It's your coach. Make sure you subscribe, follow, like, and share. I see